Well, good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome indeed to Friday Night Live. We're back on the late one, my lovelies. It's 11:30, just gone. And I suppose, welcome to November properly. We're really in November now, aren't we? Gosh, what a thought. There were fireworks tonight, there were celebrations I saw. Uh, and anyway, we are going to wave away Friday, the 1st of November, and we are going to welcome in another weekend, darling. So, I would love to hear how your Friday has gone. We would all love to hear what you've been eating during this Friday. And we would love to know if you've got any plans for the weekend. And if you have, what are they? What are you planning to do? What are you planning to eat? And anything else that we care to talk about, darlings. So I'm not going to mess about tonight. I'm gonna have a jolly good slurp of wine because it's o'clock, darlings. And then I'm going to just whiz into the comments, and it will go where it goes. Oh well, now naturally you can send a voice note to the normal number. Um, the Hedgehog of Truth is available for Hedgehog of Truth questions, and I will prepare the birthday box of joy and savings. There we are. I'm quite looking forward to this, darlings. Well, I'm very much looking forward to it. I always enjoy catching up with you, lovely lot. Ah, there we are. There we are. Right then. Cheers, your very good health. Bottoms up. Up yours. Get stuffed. I'm trying not to inflict them on you, darlings. That was a good one. First cab off the rank tonight was Carol C. Good evening, Boaty, and all of the beautiful community. I've had a lovely Friday. Oh, good. Hope you have too. Oh, that's kind. Please like and subscribe to this marvelous YouTube channel. I'm off to watch the new video that Boaty uploaded today. See you later, says Carol C. And yeah, you actually got a video of me today. You've probably forgotten what they look like. It's been so long. Peter P is with us. Good evening, Boaty, and honourable friends of clean cutlery. Yeah, what did you think? Assuming you've watched it, what did you think of the lunch review? Uh, I really enjoyed that lunch. And to my surprise, Mustard enjoyed it as well. Oh, spoiler alert if you've not seen it. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it, but uh, yeah, Mustard wants to go back. He liked the different atmosphere and the different dynamic and all of that. It was a lovely lunch. I very much enjoyed it, and I was quietly impressed um, by the old value menu. Yeah, I was quietly impressed. But just as a general thing, I enjoyed it much, much more than going to Istanbul or any of the places on the Milkston Road. It was more me, I think, just more generally enjoyable as a kind of occasion. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Um, Amy is with, oh, Steve Cole is with us, and so is Amy, who says, "Hey, how's it hanging? Just back from the pub. I do like a draft IPA and a packet of crisps, roast beef flavour. Oh, God, now then. Right, let's have a roast beef crisps off. Walker's used to do beef and onion. I don't know if they still do. Brannigan's used to do beef and mustard, and they were really nice. I wonder if they're still about. Uh, Monster Munch did a roast beef flavour, and that's it. I'm out. Those are the only ones I can think of. But Brannigan's, God, I remember these back in the 90s. Or was it 80s? Brannigan's roast beef and mustard flavour crisps. They were super duper. I wonder if they're still about. Do you drink beer, Boaty? Asked Amy. Not really. Not really. On a very odd occasion, I might have one. Last time I had a beer was, oh, and I never drink bitter or ales anymore. I used to, but no, I don't anymore. The last time I had any kind of a beer was in Llandudno, the overnight Llandudno. So that was Llandudno 2 of this year. And we were in Harvey's, the restaurant. That's myself and the M11, of course. And they wanted £9.50 or something for a glass of wine, and I can't bring myself to pay £9.50 for a glass of wine when I know that the bottle doesn't cost that. So I had a beer. I had a pint of some. I think it was. I don't know what it was. It was some lager that's popular these days. What's it called? It sounds a bit. Oh, Peroni, is it? Sounds a bit Italian. God knows whether it is. Well, I mean, it won't be really Italian, will it? I mean, we sell Gurkha beer. Taste the flavour of the Himalayas. It's brewed in bloody Hemel Hempstead or somewhere. But yeah, I had a pint of beer just because. So that was the problem with a glass of wine. Now, if I have a glass of wine with my meal, the glass of wine isn't going to last the meal, even if I have water as well. So I'm going to end up having at least 2 glasses of wine. And you're looking at 20 quid. And I'm not throwing 20 quid away on 2 glasses of probably rather average wine. I'm not doing it. Whereas a pint, which cost £4.50 or whatever it was, that lasted me for the whole meal. I only had the one. So, yeah, that was the last time I had beer, and I can't remember the time before that. I don't think I've had a beer this year. I think that was the only one. So it's a rare occurrence for me, Amy. Matron is with us and says, evening all. Hi all, I'm back, says Carol C. And amazingly, I'm awake for the moment. Busty, was the restaurant busy? No, really, really quiet night. Really quiet night. Kind of, well, very quiet for a Friday kind of thing. There was a big celebration in nearby Codner. Fireworks, fair, street fair, all of that. And there were thousands of people there. And we were just really quiet. Restaurant was quiet, takeaways were quiet. So, yeah, just a quiet night. Nobody earned their corn tonight. Oh, well, I mean, the staff did because they get paid the same whether the restaurant is busy or not, of course, apart from tips. So they're all right, but the rest of us, yeah, no, not a good night, but it happens. It happens. So quiet, relaxed, early night for the guys. Everybody's saying hello to Matron, who is having a giggle at the busty. And Kelsey says the Hedgehog of Truth t-shirt is being worn in bed tonight. The material is very soft. Question: will the budget affect your restaurant prices and wages for the staff? The former, not immediately. The latter, yes, is the short and quick answer to that. We will try and absorb the additional costs. Um, we've not long put out a new menu with new prices, so we can't raise the prices again so soon. So our prices will be fixed for another 10 or 11 months, and the increased expenses are just going to have to be swallowed. Well, actually, they don't have to be swallowed. We can just pay the staff less. There you go. There's an easy answer to it, isn't it? There's an easy answer to it. Yeah, you see, that's why they've done it this way, the old Labour government. Now, if they'd have increased income tax, which would have been the most sensible, it would have been the correct thing to do. Everybody agrees on that. The only way in which it would not have been correct is in terms of electability or re-electability. And of course, if they raised income tax, um, then they would become much less electable because people can see income tax. They can see it on their wage slip. They understand it. Employers' national insurance contributions, they don't see that on their wage slip. So the average voter, the average punter in the street, isn't going to get so upset about that tax rise. But it will affect them. It will affect them because, you know, business is tough at the moment. And many businesses won't be able to afford to absorb the prices, the increased expenses. And if they're in a competitive marketplace, they won't have the luxury of being able to increase their prices for fear of losing market share. So the only thing that they can do is reduce staff wages. Now, of course, there's a new minimum wage coming in next, well, at the start of the next fiscal year, isn't it? So April 4. But businesses will always find a way around that. There will be 0 hour contracts, there will be reduced hours, or businesses will simply not pay minimum wage. Does that happen? I hear you ask. Yeah, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. So it's it might be a hidden tax rise in many senses, but the effect will be felt. You can be sure of that. Businesses, they have a finite pot of money, and when their expenses increase, that money has got to come from somewhere. And if if raising your prices is not an option, then you can try and increase your margins by, depending on what product or service it is that you're selling, you could decrease the quality, decrease the quantity, or you can cut back on your staff costs in other ways by making people work harder over fewer hours and paying them less. Um, it's 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 just the way things are. You know, just because you happen to have a business, it doesn't mean that you have a bottomless pot. And when the powers that be say, right, you need to pay this additional expense, that money has got to come from somewhere. Money doesn't come out of nowhere. Andrew Buttigieg is with us and says a very good evening to everybody, naming them individually, as is his wont. Alan Simpson is here. Greetings, honourable community. Long time no squeak. How are you all? Andrew is a tad knackered again. Been watching a live concert of The Cure, nearly 3 hours long. I heard about the Cure on the radio tonight. Apparently, they've released a new album, and they did a show for the BBC, and everybody's getting very excited about it. So here's a little confession from me, darlings. I've got no idea who the Cure are. As far as I'm aware, I've never heard any of their songs. And if I have heard their songs, then I absolutely couldn't name one. Not a clue. I'm completely in the dark. So I know everybody's getting tremendously excited about it, but yeah, not a clue. Not a clue. I know they were talking about the lead singer, Robert Palmer, um, but yeah, I just haven't got a clue. Completely, whoever they are or were, they've obviously flown over my head. Um, Socially, culturally, and musically. I have very eclectic tastes in music, but yeah, not a clue who they are. Here's Boaty. Here I am indeed. Bad Books is with us. Good evening, all. And Carol is exceedingly good and is thanking Alan for asking how she is. And well, Alan's glad to hear it. Good evening, all. It's the 40 something Mr. Boaty, says Chaz Brown. Howdy. Yeah, my age seems to be a fairly movable feast, doesn't it? We had a bit of fun in the Facebook group today, darlings. So there might be some comments that relate to that. If you're not in the Facebook group or you haven't looked at it, then they won't make any sense to you. Good evening, Boaty, and hello, chat, says the wonderful Mark Passad. Matron is welcoming all of the newcomers. Food news. Here we go. Alan had a McDonald's classic Big Mac meal, and it was near bad. Near bad. I I'm an unashamed fan of a Big Mac, darlings. I love a Big Mac. I do. I have it without cheese, obviously, because cheese is for the weak, and I have it with extra pickles. And ideally, I would have it as a meal with fries and a Diet Coke. And I like to have a side salad with it. I like McDonald's side salad, and I like the balsamic dressing that you can get with it. And I had this discussion with Matron and Mustard because they were saying that they never feel full up after a McDonald's. But genuinely, if I have a Big Mac meal and a side salad with it, that's me. I'm full. I'm podged. The old Bishop's ball bag is up to the brim. I couldn't squeeze anything else down. And I really enjoy it. And I haven't had one for ages. And now I'm thinking, I want one. I want that meal in my life. And so I'm thinking, when can I have it? And I'm thinking, now, road trip, darlings. I have pretty much, well, no, I haven't settled. I've got a forerunner, and the forerunner for the road trip a week on Monday is going to be Snowdonia. Again, this has been discussed in the Facebook group. There's a poll out there. I asked for suggestions. The favourite suggestion is to go home to South Wales, um, but that's not so easily doable on an overnight trip. It's quite a distance, and it's not best suited to this time of year when the hours of light are short and the hours of darkness are long. Whereas Snowdonia is a bit more achievable. And I've got a lot of history with Snowdonia, but none of it is recent. I feel the need to get back there. And there are some cheap travel lodges. I checked them out today. 25 quid, 24.99, 29.99 for the one on the coast, whatever it was. And I fancy that. I fancy that as the road trip for the new car. Old Officer Crabtree. I could make it really scenic. I could go over the Cat and Fiddle, and then head into Wales and through, and then all of the scenic stuff. Have a proper drive through Blaenau. Um, what's it called? What's it called? What am I thinking of? Near Blaenau Festiniog. English people always pronounce it wrong. Oh, Betois. Betois. Betois Secoid. English people always pronounce it Betsycoid for some reason. It's not. It's Betois. Betois. So yeah, I'll talk about this in today's video actually. My current plan is Well, no, my current idea, it's not a plan because I'm not sure if I can afford to do it and there are things and whatnot. But my current idea is to just make it a proper road trip. I get my pleasure from driving and driving in beautiful places. And this is a first trip to get to know a new car and to introduce it. So my best plan at the moment is to drive through Snowdonia, reacquaint myself with some of the places that I haven't been for so long, drive right through to the place on the coast. I can't remember what it's called. Oh God, you can tell me in the comments, but I better have a little search so I know what I'm talking about. Hang on, it begins with a B. Um, where are we? Maps. Rhymes with flaps. Right, where are we? Right, down there. It's down. Oh, I told you it began with a B. Porthmadog. Porthmadog. There's a cheap travel in Porthmadog. So I could drive. Well, hang on. Let me keep the map open here. So I could drive. I could drive through Snowdonia. I'll use my Michelin Road Atlas and use um, all of the beautiful roads. So what's there to have a look at? Right, well, Betois, obviously, Capel Curig, Blaenau, there's Snowdon, Llanberis, of course. So yeah, and then Porthmadog is disappeared. Where's it gone? It was bloody there a minute ago. Bangor Travelodge was even cheaper. Porthmadog was $29.99. Bangor was $24.99. And Bangor is one of those places that qualify for me and Mustard's game. Place names that sound like instructions. Bangor. All right, I will do. Where's Porthmadog gone? I'm sure it was there. Caernarfon. Where's it gone? Am I in the wrong place? Oh, it's down there. Oh, right. Oh, well, Bangor's bloody miles away, isn't it? Oh, Cricieth. Pacelli. Ah, all these names. So basically, I'm thinking I can plan a route to head to Porthmadog or wherever it is I'm going to end up and just have a beautiful, beautiful drive, have a look what's around, reacquaint myself, get my bearings. It's a long time since I've spent any time in Snowdonia. That my last visit to Snowdonia was with my wife and my father, and I took them up Snowdon on the railway. Neither of them had done that. But that was like a flying visit. We had a night at Lake Vyrnwy, one of my top 5 hotels in the world. And then we did Snowdon, and then we had to bugger off. We didn't do any gadding about, really. And before that, it was years and years and years, maybe decades, since I used to properly wallop about Snowdonia when I was a much younger man. I've climbed Snowdon more than once, and I don't mean on the train. I have done it on the train, but I mean I've climbed Snowdon the easier way and the hard way. And I used to be very, really quite familiar with the area, but quite honestly, it's been ages. And over this winter, I do fancy spending time in Snowdonia. When the Travelodges are cheap, you can do it as an overnight quite easily. I can be back for work on the Tuesday. So yeah, so the plan would be to plan a route through Snowdonia to the Travelodge, Porthmadog, wherever I am. Then just the normal thing: hotel, live stream, vodka and tonic, emergency food as on super on the cheap as cheaply as possible. take my coffee machine so I don't have to have a morning like I did on Tuesday morning without a decent cup of coffee. Um, Try and blag a breakfast if possible, and then head back on the Tuesday, but go a different route. And then I can, having had that reacquaintance with Snowdonia, I can then pinpoint some particular points around the area for future trips, and I would concentrate more on one particular point. Do you get what I mean? That kind of thing. And I think I started talking about this because I was talking about McDonald's and how much I would enjoy a Big Mac meal. So I could do that on a Monday road trip, couldn't I, darlings? I could stop off at a McDonald's en route, and I could have my Big Mac meal with a side salad, and I would enjoy that very much indeed, actually. So that is the current front runner for the for the old plans. Oh, base Gellet. Faith Gellert, all of these. Yeah, I really feel that I need to do an episode 4 in my rediscovering my homeland series, and yeah, Snowdonia is perfect for that. Obviously, over the past couple of years, I've reacquainted myself with the north coast. You know, we've done Rill a couple of times. We've done Llandudno. We've done the drive. Obviously, done Talacra. Um, so Snowdonia should be next, but also the Never Eat Shredded Wheat, the West Coast. Now, the West Coast of Wales, I have zero experience with, zero. I've never been to Aberystwyth. I've never been to Barmouth. Never been to any of these places. So you know, maybe they can be done on the El Cheapo on some Monday road trips over winter, darlings. My kind of road trip. Not everybody enjoys my kind of road trip. My mother used to, and that made her a very good companion. Um, but I enjoyed the driving. Now, other people, the driving is just a bore. They want to get to the destination, and they want to spend all of the time in the destination. Um, Other people want to be out of the car. For me, the romance of a road trip is the actual drive itself, the physical driving of the car, the 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 scenery, the locations, all of that. My favourite road trips were the ones to San Sebastian, and honestly, our idea that was me and Mum, and on a couple of occasions the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty. And the idea was that you drive all day and you fall into some crappy hotel, you have something to eat, you have a drink, you go to sleep, you get up in the morning, have coffee, and you're out driving again. And that is the kind of road trip that I would love, and Snowdonia would really kind of tick that box for me. So that's kind of a plan over winter. Snowdonia and the west coast, and do it a bit like Harris Garage. Um, I'll do it in once the fleet has been refined, which is taking place on Monday, and of course, change on Monday. Allegro Man is now going to be involved. So for fans of Allegro Man, we're all going to be in a car together, having a bit of a trip. So the plan for Monday now has changed. So on Monday, the plan is I will head to the yard in JJ. I will pick up Mustard and Allegro Man and bring them back here. So we're here with all of my cars are here, and Mustard's here, and Allegro Man is here. We will then take the 3 cars that are going to the yard. So that's Sheeson, Boo, and Stigba. So 3 of us driving 3 cars. We'll have walkie-talkies. We'll stop halfway and swap cars. No doubt. Me and Mustard will be filming. Allegro Man won't be, obviously. And so then, yeah, we'll take them to the yard, and then Mustard and I will come back in the. Hang on, how does it work then? I've forgotten. Oh no, sorry. And then they're done, they're finished, and then I will just drive the new car, the Peugeot, back from the yard to here, and then that's it. Job done, finished. A longer day for me than them, but that's okay. I'll enjoy the drive in the new car. There'll be a chance to film plenty of stuff. I'll make sure that we get a spot of lunch along the way. But yeah, with hopefully a couple of quid of additional income over the forthcoming months and a reduced fleet, I'll be able to make sure that everything is in good workable condition. And we can do some road trips over the winter. And like I say, do it like Harry's Garage. Take a different car. It can be a bit about the car, a bit about the roads, all of that sort of thing. I would enjoy doing that. And of course, there'll be the birthday road trip to Snowdonia, which will be funded by this box here, which I am about to pound. So there is, oh, listen to that. There's the quid, there is today's pound, and in it pops. Yeah, I've got a feeling that that if I do all of these road trips and I stay in £20 travel lodges and I do it on the cheap, taking my own food, taking my own coffee machine, making sandwiches or whatever to make it as cheap as possible, not for effect, but because I need it to be as cheap as possible or I can't do it. And then when I go on the magnificent birthday bash one to the Grand, I'm probably going to find out that the travel lodges are better than the bloody Grand in Llandudno, although the location won't be. The one thing that they can't take away from the Grand is the location. I was talking to Yvette with the damp baps, and yeah, a friend of hers had to stay at the Grand a month or two ago, and they said it was bloody awful. The hotel is run down and bloody awful. The clientele are all nearly dead, and the entertainment is bingo and ballroom dancing. Well, that's right up my street, darlings. I'll have bloody fun there. You watch me, and I'll make a great video out of it. I should really get back to your comments, shouldn't I? I've somewhat ignored them for a while. Bad Book says, Andrew, not heard the Cure for years. Bet that was a treat. I've never heard them. Tracy says, are you looking forward to your 37th birthday? I am. I'm not. I joke about the age thing. I don't try and hide how old I am, darlings. I'm 53 years of age. I will be 54 on January the 14th. Quite frankly, I'm amazed I made it this far. I've told you all many times before that I didn't expect to make it to my 20s. And then I certainly didn't expect to make it to my 30s and definitely not to my 40s. And my 50s is just unimaginable. Not because I've got a death wish or I'm pessimistic or whatever. It's just because of familial issues and genetic diseases and whatnot. And the fact that none of my siblings made it out of their teens. I could be forgiven for not having a personal long life expectancy. And so I've been blessed. I've been extraordinarily lucky. And, I'm 53 years old. I'm not in bad nick, darlings. Yeah, all right. There are certain things that are very obviously wrong with me. And there are all of the normal signs of age. But generally speaking, I'm not bad. I'm not bad. I'm fit as a bloody fiddle. I can do a full day's graft 7 days a week, and I'm loving life. So can't grumble. I've got a message there. Let's see who's this from. Oh, it's from the lovely John Stoodley, who says, "Hi, Jason. Just checking in. I'm full of cold and all bunged up, but I'm still here. Hope you're all okay. Hope all is okay your end. And shame some of your fleet are going, especially Stigbert, but needs must wait." Well, they must indeed. But let's not forget there is going to be a new fleet member, and I think he's going to be rather fabulous. It's all happening now, darlings. On the community phone, we have got a voice message, a voice note, and it's a voice from Port Sunlight on the Wirral, which, may I remind you, is the Leisure Peninsula.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How has your day been?
Fine,
And
thank you.
when you go to Grand, we ask, are they planning to get this place done up? Because they do a thing, and then if they are going to do it up, you can go back and view it, can't you, sir? And we look forward to watch your road trip on Monday.
I'm just going to pause that there, because to answer that question immediately, that was the reason why I decided to finally, because I've never been to the Grand, I decided to finally go for my birthday in January. They are planning to do it up, Mr. Parry. Plans are already progressing, but the major upgrades are happening in, I believe, early spring, March, I think. And I wanted to go. Now, this is going to sound bizarre, but just what Mr. Parry said then, that's exactly why I want to go. I want to go while it's still awful. And then I will go again when all of the work has been done, and hopefully will be somewhat better. So that was actually the impetus for planning this trip, the fact that they are finally going to do something about it. And I wanted to see it while it's still at its worst. Every hotel reviewer in the world has been there and has made a video showing you how awful and overpriced this place is, and how it's a dreadful shame that such a magnificent, iconic building is blah, 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 blah. And I'm so sorry if you heard that. I want to jump on that train. I want to be part of it. I want to see it at its worst. I've never stayed there before. I've been to Llandudno a million times. I know the building. I've never even been inside it. Now, Bernard also loves it, and she's been there for drinks and whatnot. Never stayed the night. She always had this fantasy that she and I bought it. Can't manage that. The best I can manage is a couple of Airbnbs, and they're not in Llandudno. But yeah, never been, and I want to go while it's still awful. Back to Mr. Parry.
And you could always put a camera in the car with the Legroman, sir, and you play clips from him, wouldn't you, sir? Okay, no problem, sir. Have a good evening.
Well, now then, I can answer that. I will be putting a camera in the car with a Legroman, and I'm going to be doing the equivalent of a lunch video. My plan is for the journey from the yard with Mustard and a Legroman to here. It'll take about an hour and a half, something like that. And my plan is for that, I'm just going to leave the camera running, and I don't intend to edit it. For better or worse, it's going to be a fly on the wall video of the three of us in the car. And I've suggested to Mustard that if you've seen the lunch video we did with a Legroman, then it was really hilarious. And especially if you watch Mustard's and pick up on the reactions, because me and Mustard were doing our thing, our shtick. And Legroman, the lovely Andy, bless him, just didn't get it. And he was just looking bewildered. And I'm looking forward to doing that in the car. So I'm going to leave the camera running. It's going to be fly on the wall. And I've said, look, we can properly bewilder poor old Andy. We'll make him play That's My Pilchard and pump percent and talk all of our nonsense. And yeah, so that is the plan. Fly on the wall stuff. For that video, the rest will be edited, but I plan for the trip from the yard to Windybum to here to be an unedited 90-minute long fly on the wall thing with me and Mustard and Allegro Man, unless it's just rubbish. The rest of it will be filmed and will be edited probably. So there'll probably be, I don't know, 2 or 3 films coming out on Monday. And there'll be an introduction to the new car, of course, because the first time I drive it, we'll be driving it back from the yard. And then there'll be more stuff about it, and then we'll take it on the road trip if circumstances and funds permit, 1 week on. So I'll have a week to sort what needs sorting. I think I'm going to have to put a couple of tires on it, get it personalized, get, you know, all of the bits and pieces that you normally do. And then after a week, it'll be hopefully the big road trip to Snowdonia. Dinner, says Carol C, was homemade salmon fish cakes with a balsamic olive oil stroke fresh chili dressing, salad and homemade crisps. And that sounds amazing. That genuinely does sound amazing. Andrew says, Bad Books, it was absolutely brilliant, the Cure concert. They played the new album in full and then did a 2-hour hits list. There we are. Mark made a cauliflower cheese with crispy bacon bits and watched Premiership rugby. The lunch review was good, says Chaz Brown. Seemed reasonable value and a nice what? A nice something view. Don't know what that says. Jimmy 500 says lovely looking lunches. You know, for the price point, I genuinely had no complaints. And it was just nice to be in a slightly better atmosphere. At the end of the day, it's a bloody table, for God's sake. And if you're not familiar with table, it's a budget version of a beef eater owned by the same group. But it was a step up from the Milkston Road in terms of ambience and comfort and amenities and all of that. Now, I was expecting it to be a massive step down in terms of the food, and it was a step down, admittedly, but not a massive one. And maybe it wasn't a step down, maybe it was a step across, because my burger was grand. It was absolutely grand. It was a burger, but it was a good burger. And I had cutlery and a drink in a glass and a comfortable seat and room. You know, it was all of those things that add to a nice lunch experience. I was very happy with it. And the video suggests the other 2 were too. So maybe for the next one, we should try, dare I say it, a Wetherspoons. It's got to be done at some point, hasn't it? Got to be done. Bad Book says, weekend jobs, mow the bloody grass again, as it's grown like mad this week, creosote the garage, ready for winter, which is a monumental task. Good luck with that. Good evening, everyone, says Pocahontas 100. Hope all are well. And Emma, hope things are a bit better for you. I can tell you that Emma has not had a good day, and I don't think she's here. And yeah, keep sending the love and good wishes and positivity She needs it. She really does. Bless her. Alan says, Mr. Boaty, I have just booked 4 nights in Snowdonia with my dad at the end of the month. It'll be our first visit, but after the success of last year's out-of-season trip to Scarborough, quite excited. Ah, well, yeah, so you should be. So you should be. I look forward to hearing all about it. And, a bit of quality time with your dad. That's, as many of us would agree with, those of us who no longer have our dads, that's not to be overestimated. Walker's Max Beef are really good, says Alan. Oh, we're talking about crisps now. Jolly good. Oh, Mustard's here. Hello, turd burglars, he says, somewhat cheekily. Oh, buddy and none. Good evening, all. Only my second time on the live stream tonight. Nice to be with you, and lovely to have you with us, buddy and none. There we are. Second time. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, and you are indeed thrice welcome. And hello, Mustard. Looking forward to Monday, mate. I'm looking forward to my curry as well. I'm peckish. Oh, I haven't told you what I had for lunch, have I? I had garlic and mustard chicken. Oh, I didn't video it, but I used my steamer, the new one. The first time I used it, I had steamed Charlotte potatoes, and it is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I had a very simple lunch. I had I just had garlic and mustard chicken with steamed Charlotte potatoes and green beans tossed in butter and black pepper, and it was absolutely delicious. Lunch tomorrow, it's not going to be Boaty's Saturday brunch tomorrow. It's going to be Boaty's Saturday lunch, and it's going to be Momo. And that reminds me, I need to take the doings out of the what's it. Oh, and I need to put the other doings in the what's it. So that needs to go in the fridge. Done. The chutney needs to come out of the freezer. That's done. That can go in the fridge to defrost overnight. And tomorrow is going to be, I haven't had Momo for ages. And I thought I was going to have them on Monday, but I'm not. I've got the meal plan for Monday. Things have changed a bit now that Allegro Man's involved, but I'm still planning the same lunch. Oh, excuse me. The one I told you about the other night. The special overnight marinated chicken drumsticks with fresh naan and Momo chutney and all of that. I talked about it at some length. So I'm going to have Momo tomorrow, and I'm going to make a video about it. It'll be a Boaty's Saturday lunch rather than Boaty's Saturday brunch. And I'll just bang on about how amazing Momo are, show you how easy they are to take from your freezer and steam them for 25 minutes. Bang on your chutney and a bit of finely chopped spring onion and coriander, and Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt. It's one of the best things you'll ever eat. And I will be mentioning the fact that you can buy them from me. You can make them yourself, but you won't be able to, because you won't be able to get the Momo masala unless you live in Nepal or have people who live in Nepal. But I will be mentioning that if you are within striking distance of Windy Bottom or the restaurant, you can buy your very own supply of Momo and chutney directly from me. And if you're a channel member, you get a discount. Now then, I was impressed, says Carol C., with the price of Boaty's Matrons and Mustard's meal. The cutlery needed a better clean, in my opinion. Yeah, I wasn't, at least I had cutlery. Everything's relative, isn't it? So I wasn't going to lose my mind over the cutlery. Then, no doubt it's a cheap pub restaurant, darlings. And Mustard kept banging on about how Moroccan shawarma was cheap, so you have to expect this, that, and the other. But I think my point was proved with this lunch video, because at the same price point, we didn't have somebody barging over the table and grabbing stuff, and we got given cutlery. It might not have been perfectly clean, but no doubt they have a dishwasher, and it goes in the dishwasher and it comes out and it goes in the hoppers, and it goes onto the table. Now, if you go a few steps up the price point, like at our restaurant, then the cutlery gets washed and rinsed, and then the final thing of the cutlery is the cutlery comes out of the kitchen in a balti, in a bucket in English. Balti means bucket. And then what we do when we've got the cutlery in the restaurant is we pour boiling water all over it to fully. It's already rinsed and whatnot. It's already washed and rinsed, but we sterilize it with boiling water, and then we individually polish each piece of cutlery with a clean lint-free cloth before it goes into the receptacle. So you're never going to get dirty cutlery at our place. But then equally, you're not going to get 2 meals for £11.49 at our place either. So I wasn't upset about the cutlery at all. And yeah, I thought it was jolly good value too. So I agree. I agree, says Mark. Wine is ridiculously priced by the glass. I thought that was too out there, to be honest, Mark. £9.50, or I think it was £11 for a large glass. Even we're not that bad. We're fine dining, and I only charge, like £5 or £5.50 for a glass of wine. Double that, I thought, was just taking the piss. People are saying hello to people, which is always nice. Ian Hully is with us. Evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Regarding crisps, Tudor did a nice beef and onion flavour. I'd forgotten about them. Yeah, Tudor. As long as there's not poo or pee on the cutlery, says Jimmy at 500, I don't mind if they're not perfectly clean. How many CL is the £9 glass? Asked Peter P. I can't remember. Have a look online if you want to know. I can't remember. Carol C says, do you know if Carol Ann's vehicle passed its test? And have you arranged a drive out, or are you heading to South Wales? I don't know if it passed or not. She didn't say. She was just talking about the issues with the gearbox. Probably saving it so for a video rather than issue a spoiler. And haven't arranged a drive out because obviously Yvette Dampbaps is to be found holed up around Snowdonia and in the old caravan, but caravan season has finished. So she'll be back home just as I'm heading out to Snowdonia. So paths may not cross, but she, assuming that the motorhome did pass the MOT, then she's planning to come here to the Peak District in the motorhome, and we will we'll have a get together then. So no, I'm not planning South Wales. As I said, it's all about Snowdonia in my mind. We'll see if I can make it happen. The fact that the hotel prices have really dropped down to winter levels is a big help. Oh, is this a new message that I didn't see? Hold on.
Another place you want to try sometime is the Adelphi in Liverpool, where it's better known for the Beatles there, because that's a similar hotel. in its peak, it was the bee's knees. There was even a TV show about the Adelphi, sir, back in the 90s. I think it was 95, 97.
Oh, there we are. There we are. Jimmy F500 says, what is the minimum wage over there? I think it's about £10 something at the moment, and it's going to go up to £12.21 or something next year. And that is for the over 21s, of course. I watched your food review, says Steve Colgan. I was well hungry. Andrew says, isn't it illegal to underpay staff there in the UK? Here, companies are heavily fined for underpayments. Yes, it is illegal. Do people do it? Yes, they absolutely do. Do they get reported? No, because if somebody is desperate for work, then they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. If they are, if you're being underpaid by a company who chooses not to pay minimum wage, what are you going to do? If you report them, then you're going to lose your job. You might get some back pay, some compensation if you chase it through the courts, but ultimately you're going to lose your job. And what's the alternative? Trying to live on benefits, trying to get another job. Yeah, companies do get away with it. Many things are illegal, both here and in many other countries, but it doesn't mean that people don't do it. You know, in any country that you care to name, there's going to be a black economy. Tobacco duty is going to rise. Does everybody do what they're told and go along to their local supermarket or newsagents and buy their cigarettes, paying however much it is a packet now? Or do they go to their local ethnic shop where there are cigarettes under the counter for less than half the price? Is that illegal? Yeah. Does it happen in every town and every city? The Love Cats and Friday I'm in Love, says Tracy, means nothing to me. I presume they're Cure songs. Have you never heard Friday I'm in Love, an absolute classic? Asked Alan. No. The Cure are famous for the song I Hate Mondays, says Mustard. I thought that was the Bob Geldof, the Boomtown Rats. I'm sure it was. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I'm so excited, says Andrew. I'm clutching my bigger tinkle about the new album. And it's Robert Smith, not Palmer. Oh, there we are. I was close. Buddy Anon says, I'm a big fan of The Cure. And the lead singer is Robert Smith, not Robert Palmer. Okay. Andrew says, Bad Books. Yes, minimum wage is law, maximum penalty of 20 grand per employee. Robert Palmer was good in As Time Goes By with Judi Dench, says Peter B. He was, wasn't he? He was brilliant. And he was great as the dad in Butterflies, written by Carla Lane with Wendy Craig, of course. Oh, and let's not forget that Robert Palmer was also in The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. And he is responsible, or his character is responsible, for one of my catchphrases, tricky chaps, words, that came from Robert Palmer's character in The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. So there you go. Everything's all interconnected, isn't it? Sleep in the car, says Mustard. I can't sleep in the car. Personally, says Alan Simpson, I like the Visit an Ex-Little Chef with Alan Simpson road trip suggestion. like I did, goes on mustard. Yeah, you did. And I bet you're still paying the bloody price for it. And I mean the price from your good lady wife rather than anything else. If there's a Travelodge available for 25 quid, I'm not sleeping in the bloody car. 25 quid for a room for the night. That is amazeballs. I might see how the weekend goes. See if I can pay, if I've got anything to pay money into the bank on Monday. And if I can pay some money in on Monday and the hotels are still that price, I'm going to book one of them. And then I've nailed my trousers to the mast. I've got to do it. But yeah, I like to visit the next little chef with Alan Simpson. I did as well, and it will happen. It will happen. Oh, excuse me. Simone is with us, hooked on classics. Hello, just wiping my eyes after watching $1 Million Baby. Hope you're all well. What? What's all this about? What's going on here? Right, I'm lost with all of this. Catman do, dog lady don't, squirrel bloke might, there's no such place, rat geezer won't, hedgehog reverend did, mouse girl can. Didn't we have a lovely time the day we went to Bangor? Donkey princess wouldn't, sausage cat might, giraffe midget can't. Oh, Alan says the Bangor Travelodge used to have a little chef beside it. Had a belter of a tartan carpet. God. Right, I've got no idea what's going on here. That's my pilchard, a game no one can win. Hey, Boaty, says Andrew. I can win it. Yeah, who won the latest That's My Pilchard at the yard? Please let us know, Boaty. Somebody cheated. It's like trying to understand the rules of 3-2-1 with Dusty Bin. Nobody could understand that. Look at the time. Look at the time. Matron's Pilchard game is strong. It is. Now then. Oh dear, oh dear. Forget Snowdonia. Get yourself up north to God's own country. Travel to Stays via Robin Hood's Bay and Whitby. That's the place in the picture, isn't it? In my bathroom. That is on the list. That will happen. It won't be a week on Monday. I feel the need to get to Snowdonia. But that will be coming. Definitely that will be coming. Does the 407 need a grill muff for the winter? No idea. Sorry if I've not said hello to someone, says Tracy Cardiff. I struggle to read the tiny text on my phone. Where's Emma at, says Steve Cole. She's had a bad day. Hopefully she's asleep. What am I watching and why? Asked somebody called 69 something or other, and I don't know. Pound that like button, guys and gals, says Pocahontas 100, and I would be jolly grateful. Same age as me, says Jimmy F500. 1971 was a good year. I blame that beardy rover guy for this. We all do. We all do. I'm 54 in January, says Tracy. My parents were 64 and 88 when they died, so I know what you mean. My auntie was 91 there. Oh, there we are. Greetings, limey humanoids. Humanoid, says Stephen S. Ball. Greetings to you. Simone wonders, does anyone else here catastrophize? I'm constantly thinking the worst and that everything will go wrong. Oh dear. And Peter P says, yes, I think worst case scenario every time, Simone. And I'm going to whiz through the rest of the comments, darlings, because it's kind of time to go, isn't it? I've kept you up too late. I've kept you up too late, and I've got curry waiting for me. Oh, Jimmy at 500 has had a pizza. 69 Phuket had a char siu pork from Aldi, ping meal. Oh, God, my sympathies. A ping meal from Aldi. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, what a terrible thing. Chris Bowen says, hi, guys. Diligence is indeed a hard word. Everybody's sending love to Emma. That's nice. Diddly do. Some retracted. What? What? Oh, God knows what all of that's about. It's too late to try and deal with that. Oh, yes. Cock up on the catering front. Jeffrey Palmer, Reggie Perrin. Robert Palmer was addicted to cigarettes. Oh, thanks to your authoritative advice, says Buddy and I bought 6 bottles of Sainsbury's Taste the Difference Rioja Blanco today. And while sipping a glass with you tonight, I must say it's rather lovely. Well, cheers. Glad you took my advice. I also, when you see today's video, you'll hear all of the rattling. I went out on a limb and bought a case. The offer's going to end tomorrow, I think. So I got another case in today. So I'm okay for most of next week, I think, now. Before I have to go back to the cheap stuff. Is the beardy Rochdale guy a friend again, Boaty, from a fussy eater? We never fell out, and I can't imagine we ever will. We are bestest buddies. I'll be 55 in April, says Andrew. Oh, good. Oh, to be in my 40s again. And yeah, there we are. Pretty much done, darlings. I apologize that I had to skip over some of the comments, but it is kind of knocking on well towards 1 o'clock. But let me thank you very deeply for your company tonight. I've enjoyed tonight. I really have. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. And I won't waffle on for ages and ages because you all need to get off. I need to get my curry. It is really late. I apologise that Friday and Saturday are even even later than the normal ones, but it can't be helped. It is what it is, as they say. So thank you for your company so much. I wish you all a safe and peaceful night. I hope you are all able to stay warm and hopefully reasonably happy. And I wish you all the best day ahead and a decent weekend. And I hope that there is some joy for you all to be taken somewhere in amongst these slings and arrows that life throws at us all. So take really good care of yourselves. Take care of those who love you and who you love. And if you possibly can, I would love you to join me tomorrow night, same place, same time, 11:30. And thank you again. Much love to you all. See you next time. And on that note, pachoo, and indeed. Oh, the candle's gone out. Bosh.